There's always the ugly friend.
Yeah.
I'm the ugly friend, okay? I'll be leeching off this dude right now. No. Sports teams.
Oh, God. People.
Sports teams.
I'm not really big at this, but yeah, I know what you mean. People
teams.
come to blows for
I'm
sports
talking
teams.
about you Cowboys fans.
Come to blows.
Like,
golly.
People get violent.
Yeah.
When their team loses or someone talks crap on their team.
They take it personally.
And I'm like
you have
were you on the field?
Yeah. What's going on, YouTube? Will Robertson here.
It's your boy Malcolm Eugene.
Today's topic.
What is today's topic?
Symbols.
Symbols? What about symbols?
Why are they needed? Why are they meaningful? I believe it definitely, no matter whether it's a athletic brand or some type of movie, whatever it is, depending on what the context of it is, I believe that people need some sort of sense of hope. That's what it instills in when people, especially nowadays with everything going on. So whether it's a particular individual anybody looks up to iconically, whether it's some brand you trust based on the material it's made out of,
right.
You have to have a belief in it. I think that's what symbols really.
So I think there's two different things there. So I actually finished a book called A Man and His Symbols by Carl Jung. Yeah, I read that book, and it's A Man and His Symbols, and it kind of talks about how people do look at these symbols for hope, especially when it comes to like religion. A lot of people base their morality on like religious text and religious books and symbols and all this.
A lot of imagery.
To base their whole character around. And between that and the other part, which is more about status in society, where you get into like your Nikes and your Adidas and all these other symbols that people look for to establish where they think you are, where you are in the hierarchy of the world. Symbols are needed, but I feel like a lot of people depend on them way too much.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
So people are like, well, the Bible doesn't say this, so maybe you shouldn't be doing it. And a lot of people would harm other human beings because of that. And I'm like, well, you're doing that. You are now a hypocrite within your own ideology because you are now going against what your symbol or what you are believing in. People look for an excuse or a cop-out or an escape to do harm to others, to put their beliefs and some sort of supremacy above everybody else's beliefs.
But I definitely agree. I feel that, and definitely think that instead of doing the work most people would do themselves to figure out, they latch on to something that's already created, and they just jump on it, just like religion or some type of wave of thinking or whatever. And they just they
even recently. Look at the whole alpha community, the manosphere.
Oh, yeah.
People see this ideology that hasn't really been getting the attention that it should be, and they're taking it, and they're just taking off with it and disregarding a lot of the negative aspects of it. Now, I'm not saying that there's not any truth within the words that are being spoken, but what I'm saying is a lot of people are taking all of it to heart, and they're not really thinking for themselves. Fresh and Fit got in trouble for that. A lot of their followers are just kind of going amok.
Well, yeah, because they started punching holes in the theories, because you can't say one thing that you're putting out there and you're saying, hey, you do this to do this, and then you go behind the scenes and do all the negative things that you say you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
The beta tendencies.
But that's religion. That's politics.
There's always this other do as I say, not as I do.
There's a backdoor to everything.
Exactly. So that should, if you would think as an individual, and make you think and question even more. Yeah. All right. These people you follow, these people that you look to for guidance, leadership, whatever you want to see. Some people get to a point to where they worship these people, like a god, almost deity, and that comes in all facets. Look at certain directors, like a Spielberg, literally a Spielberg level director, or Michael Bay. People will drop anything, whatever their name. And first of all, their name holds so much power, that they get the budget. They get whatever they want. They get it because they command that much power. And it gets you to a certain extent of, how do we allow this to happen? How does one person have so much influence and so much power? Look at people like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, incredible person. Man has nearly 300 million followers.
More than that, anybody who's working any kind of like job, retail, fast food, every time you have a corporate walk and all of your managers are going crazy.
Yeah. All of a sudden, we're tightening up on rules. All of a sudden, we're hitting policies. Now we're
Not to say that we shouldn't.
No.
All I'm saying is we should always be following
keep the
that.
same consistent energy. Don't drill us the week of or a few days before, and then months later, then go back to regular old whatever happens, a nonchalant thing. Be consistent with it.
We give a lot of power to people based on their societal status.
Yes.
We feel like that if we give them power, then they are going to bless us with something that'll bring us up, which it's a weird thing. It's called leeching on people.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. And you notice that in like friend groups and different things like that. There's always the ugly friend. Yeah. I'm the ugly friend, okay? I'll be leeching off this dude right now.
No. Cut it off. No. That's a lie. That's a cap. God dang. But seriously, I see what you're saying.
That's symbols in one regard. But let's talk about symbols in the regard of I guess still status, but when you're looking at some of the clothes that people wear, the cars people drive.
Absolutely. You'd be surprised. I mean, first thing some people, women or people, period, think, what do you drive? You say Tesla. Everybody automatically, you got money. No,
I got money.
Oh, you drive a Mercedes. You drive these certain brands.
You got an iPhone right here.
Yeah, see? You got an app or a Samsung or an Android.
Yeah, you're not getting those green bubbles, dog. You ain't it.
Exactly. And people automatically disqualify you based on that. They just think you're lower, even if that's not the case at all.
Right.
Just based on something as materialistic as a phone or a car. It don't matter what's actually in your bank account. It doesn't matter actually your actual value as a person or net worth as a person.
Right.
They just see the material things. Well, I never see you wear designer. I don't see you wearing Prada, Dior. I don't see you wearing Gucci. I don't see... Because that's why people do that shit. Show off their belt, show off their shoes. They show all this stuff. I don't know why. Why?
Well, here's one for you. Now I was actually going to talk about this on my other channel. Equality can't exist in a society that's based off of statuses.
No.
So we like to gaslight ourselves and tell ourselves that we want to have equality. We want everybody to be treated equal. Maybe on a fundamental level of human rights, but equality on a grand scheme does not exist, cannot exist.
No, it's a capitalistic society. Yeah. It's impossible.
It is impossible because we're different. We're all different, especially in America. It's
a ladder decline. It's proof all the time. You see it around you. It starts at the bottom here at zero and all the way up to $1 billion.
Right?
That's why everybody keeps harping on this $15 an hour. We need to raise it. Now inflation. We need to raise it. No. Raise it. The number's on the ladder. You just need to make yourself more valuable to the market. That's the trick to it all. Not them to give you the money, because it does no good to give you the money, because then how do we supplement it? Where's it coming from? You have to continue to raise everything
they keep printing it. Yeah.
And it degrades it even more. The money gets even more and more worthless at that point. So it's like people need to understand that you need to quit looking for other things. We're getting off topic a little bit, but we need to see that in this symbol thing and everything, that we get so hemmed up and caught up in trying to make ourselves look better to other people.
Yeah.
For validation, instead of understanding that, we need to maybe start questioning some of these symbols and some of these people or these ideologies that are going around, instead of just saying, they've got all these followers, they've got all this wealth, they got all this whatever, these connections.
Right.
Well, if I attach myself to this, then I'll continue to come up. But I'm not saying you don't need a network, but we need to still question what we do in anything we do.
Right. Well, I'll say it like this. In my line of work, I've learned that when it comes to like celebrities and models, I just treat them like people, like humans, like co-workers. I treat them like co-workers.
There we go.
I'm not going to sit here and be all goo goo gaga, this, that, and the third, just because of who they are, what they represent. Because honestly, I kind of don't care. Yeah. You're going to represent something. I'm going to represent something. Someone down the street's going to represent something different.
We're here for a common goal.
But yeah, man, symbols. We put way too much energy into it. Sports teams.
Oh God, people.
Sports teams.
I'm not really big at this, but yeah, I know what you mean. People.
Sports teams.
People come to blows for.
I'm talking about you, Cowboys fans.
Come to blows.
Like,
golly,
people get violent.
Yeah. When
their team loses or someone talks crap on their team,
they take it personally.
And I'm like were you on the field?
Yeah.
Did you put money on it? Should you have put money on it, knowing that this could have happened?
Yeah.
I'm not here to call your decision making, but I'm just like, these are sports. It's for entertainment, but come on.
I think well then they throw in that's what they're passionate about. I don't know. You start throwing words like passionate. That's why I get so angry or upset about it, because
Why
it means
you,
everything.
Why are you like, okay, you're passionate about it because it's a symbol you believe in, because it may have some sort of significance between, say, someone winning a Super Bowl back in the early 90s and something that happened in your life that coexisted within that same time frame.
So I can see the attachment to it, yeah, to the events.
But why connect the two? Why? I don't understand.
I don't either. There is a disconnect there. But people need something to believe in. That's really what it is. Even if they don't have a religious thing or have faith, they have to believe in something.
Oh yeah, because if you don't believe in anything, then you're just nihilistic.
Yeah.
So with that said, I believe that's the answer to the question. That's why symbols exist. That's why people praise whoever they want to praise. That's why people watch their sports teams. I live a non-attached lifestyle. So with that said, basically, yeah, I like certain things. I cheer for the Steelers. I like certain brands of coffee, whatever, but I don't get attached to it. I don't get attached to the fact that my team's going to lose or win. If it happens, I'm happy. If it doesn't happen, I'll be a little sad, but I'm not going to sit there and just throw away my entire career over it. I guess take it with a grain of salt. Do what you want to do, but at the end of the day, always ask yourself why you are so deeply invested into something
with no return.
with no return. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, if you're not getting anything back, if it's not bettering you, if you're not bettering the others that are around you, there's nothing wrong with pure enjoyment. But if you're getting upset about it, if you're losing sleep, I know people who lose sleep over when a team loses or when something that. Well, it's maddening to me.
Even when religions, if someone is, I want to say, interacting with someone who may or may not be within the same religious sect, and like, oh, why aren't you doing that? Because that goes against our teachings. Well, I don't believe in your teachings. I don't believe in your version of deity that you want to believe in. Oh, why not? Well, I'm just gonna pray for you and hope that it's like, okay,
and they don't get that.
And that's fine. It's like I respect it. I respect your belief systems, but please show me the same respect.
Absolutely, don't push your ideology or your principles or your practices.
Don't push your politics on me, man.
Don't do it. It's not, and then you find that people avoid you for that reason. I don't want to have a conversation with old Paul, because Paul is going to get on the Jesus kick, and you don't want to have this conversation.
It's really bad when it's a social cause.
Oh God.
It's really bad when it's a social cause, and then people are like, well, you must be one of them if you're not one of us, which is basically the fundamental ideal of any kind of human interaction.
Us versus them. God dang, man.
That's society for you. But this video's kind of gotten out of hand. With that said, my name is Malcolm Eugene.
Will Robertson here.
Be less of an asshole and subscribe to this channel.
I like that. That's it. We're done.
We're done.